Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project on Saturday, May 5th at 11:15 p.m. Mountain Time, 2018, bringing you a grand solar minimum update. Once again, you're looking at Kilauea on Friday morning erupting in spectacular fashion with an ash column that is epic. Now, thankfully, this is in a national park and it is not populated. Eruptions have been ongoing throughout the day and are quieting off as we make the video. Now let's talk about the Northeast. Look at his face. A 5-day spate of severe weather brought 38 reported tornadoes in 6 states, wrapped up on Friday with more than 100 reports of severe winds across the Northeast, hundreds of thousands of power outages up into Canada, down into Michigan, New York State, and New England. And we're going to get to that in a minute. Let's take a look at the GFS models. We're going to look at North America trending. Here's Monday. Here's your Tuesday. You're going to get light snow Monday morning up in northern Maine there. And then as the weekend progresses, let's take you right into Saturday morning. Heavy snow is going to be dropping down through Wyoming in all day Saturday and into Colorado by Sunday morning and covering the entire southern Rockies as far south as almost Texas, southern New Mexico. This is good news. We have a drought in this region and we need to quell the fire danger. Coming over to the icon model, you can see us on Saturday afternoon, that snow moving through central Wyoming. This is a more pessimistic snow model and more accurate. That's why we're using it currently out to next weekend. You can see most of central Colorado getting covered in snow, which we need because the river season is upon us. So heads up, Rocky Mountains, you're about to get another storm. Let's talk about a fierce winter storm leaving 300,000 customers without power, killing 3 in Ontario. A fierce winter storm hit Canada provinces in Ontario and Quebec on Friday, May 4th, damaging numerous homes, leaving 300,000 customers without power. The same storm hit Michigan. Boom! 2 casualties, more than 300,000 more people without power as high winds hit southeast Michigan, bringing the total without power to over 750,000 if you include New York State. That is epic. Strong winds with gusts of nearly 70 miles per hour lasted through southeast Michigan. Blasted, not lashed. As of late evening, more than 300,000 customers without power. Crews started to assess the damage and make reports. Do not touch power lines. Stay away from your car if it's touching one. Large hail hit southwestern Virginia on 5/5. Cinco de Mayo. Hail in the noggin. Boom! And that is a boom. Hail every day being reported somewhere in North America or worldwide in multiple locations. As we go through the spring and descend into the grand solar minimum, cosmic ray flux has been proven to cause cloud nucleation. Now, what does that mean for you and me? Jesus, I erased all of the things that are important and it means. So we'll have to download those shortly. More than 100 wild horses dead amid Southwest drought. More consequences of the fluctuating temperatures that we're going to be seeing. Major flooding possible in Missoula this week as the Clark Fork continues to rise. Heads up, Montana. Heavy rain causes flooding, sweeps away vehicles in Turkey. A torrential flood has swept through the district of the Turkish capital, Ankara, sending vehicles downstream and shocking residents. A Turkish official said the rain was expected to last 3 hours Saturday afternoon, but instead came down in 9 minutes, causing flooding. 3 hours of rain in 9 minutes is called a flash flood. And that is a heads up. Take a look at the seismic uptick worldwide here, especially around the Ring of Fire. We have live quakes here, 4.9 in El Salvador. We have a 5.0 in Costa Rica, as well as a 4.5 in Romero. Here is the 6.1 that we reported on 24 hours ago. Should be dropping off the map shortly. Followed up by a 5.0 in Papua New Guinea and a 5.1 in Tadine, New Caledonia. We still have heavy aftershocks here in Hawaii. 3.0 kicking off just moments ago in Leilani Estates, where there are now 7 official fissures, still lava erupting. Let's go to the latest coverage. Erupting volcano on Hawaii releases life-threatening gas in the form of sulfur dioxide, officials say. This is Pahoa, Washington. Images of the eruption of Kilauea we showed you in the beginning here. After a vivid display, let's come down here and quick get you some data points. The Hawaii Police Department and members of the National Guard were helping to enforce road closings where gas levels were deemed unsafe moments ago. As of Friday night, there were 58 National Guard soldiers working 3 shifts and 75 police officers working 12-hour shifts. There have been no reports of injuries or death. Amazingly, according to the officials, as of Saturday afternoon, at least 5 homes had been destroyed by lava, said Janet Snyder, spokeswoman for the Office of the Mayor of Hawaii County. New fissures are also reported on Saturday. Officials said firefighters were not responding to fires within the subdivision because of the high levels of sulfur dioxide. Now, these eruptions on the southeastern end of the island of Hawaii prompted 66 residents to go to shelters, and almost 2,000 people have been evacuated. Heads up. Ongoing. We'll be covering it. Here's the latest update of Kilauea. Active eruptions of lava and gas continue along Kilauea's volcanic lower east rift zone within the Leilani Estate subdivision. Additional fissure vents producing spatter and small lava flows developed early Saturday morning. Additional outbreaks in the area are likely. Deflationary tilt at the summit of the volcano continues, and the lava lake level continues to drop, which means that this lava is being ejected in Leilani, and eventually it will come to an end. Now, there is no such active lava in the Pu'u'o area. Aftershocks from yesterday's 6.9 continue. More should be expected. There is an equivalent type eruption happening back in 1955, which they are referring to here, which lasted 88 days. So there is your lateral equivalent. We're expecting up to 88 days of eruptive activity here, maybe longer. There's no way to tell. Earthquakes, lava fissures could last for months, saying the USGS. I'll leave you links to this, and the video is unavailable. Explosion at Cleveland volcano, alert level raised to orange. This is in the Aleutians. A small explosion that went up 22,000 feet. I mean, that's 4 miles. Couldn't have been that small. A few small earthquakes were also recorded. So if you want to see the actual data here coming from the Independent, volcanoes observed erupting from space from Russian satellites. This is in that same region. This is Kamchatka, and you can clearly see massive volcanic activity in Kluchaskyav and other volcanoes continuously exploding over a period of the last month. And now, with the increased cosmic ray flux, watch this cloud. It stays for hundreds of miles. There's another. And watch these clouds. Watch the cloud nucleation like a contrail stay and form weather. Look at that stripe right there. That formed its own weather pattern coming from a volcano. And this is amazing imagery, which is allowing us to see the moderate cooling the planet is happening right here, just from Kamchatka alone. Because these smoke events are not dissipating, they are staying, and they are spreading, and they're creating weather. Here's a big one. Boom. Thank you, Independent. So, cosmic ray flux on the increase. Heads up. Let's check out space weather real quick. We are in geomagnetic storm KP6 currently. I'll refresh the page just to make sure that we're all okay. And let's come over here to the final closing thoughts before we talk about some solutions. Liars and fools, climate change deniers. This guy gives 2 options to those that deny global warming. We're either liars or fools. Here's the unfortunate thing. Those of us that are actual global warming deniers and are true scientists or climatologists like myself are not denying climate change at all. We believe climate change is on a natural cyclic pattern. We believe that climate change is not driven by man, but driven by natural cycles, specifically the sun. And we are not liars or fools. We're not paid by the industry. We have dedicated our whole lives to studying the science of cosmic climate catastrophe, the paleogeography, and the cosmic cycles that have caused mass extinction in our past. Now, we're learning that these cycles form at multi-layered scales, a nested hierarchy of scales, you might say. Now, What does that mean for you? That means that in our lifetime, we're experiencing one of these drop downs currently, and it's a major one. So quick, if you just bear with me quickly, I will get up the GISP2 predicted. I'm going to get up the UAH data, and I'll get up the cosmic ray data. So as we descend and cosmic rays increase, we are going to see more Kamchatka eruptions causing more weather events to cause more persistent clouds because of the volcanic outgassing, which will cause more albedo and will cause the planet to cool quickly. And every 1,000 years, this cycle occurs, time immemorial. And we're going to go on a bigger scale here, and I'm about to show you some interglacial data that will blow your mind. So we're not liars and fools or fools. We're scientists, pragmatists, and we're working with a data set that proves that you've been wrong for decades. So we're going to erase you. Now let's come over here quickly and see what the geomagnetic activity is happening. Currently, we're in geomagnetic storm here, and that means aurora. So we have a good potential for aurora throughout the Canadian provinces, maybe even into Minnesota. So go out tonight and take a look up. And that's a heads up. We are currently at KP6. If this is going to be going in and out for the next 24 hours in geomagnetic storm, if it gets above 6, we could see some perturbations to our grid, so we'll be watching it. Currently, it appears as if the BZ here has come quiet again, so that means the geomagnetic storm is over, folks. So we'll be watching this closely. This is the coronal hole that is causing it, and that's a boom. Let's talk about solutions. Let's talk about spring foraging, 20+ wild plants for food and medicine. If you don't know what those are fiddleheads, and go to Practical Self-Reliance to learn about it. Come over here. Here's Practical Self-Reliance. And we could talk about these 20 spring edibles, but we'll quick run through them. There's chickweed. There's a picture. Yellow dock. You got daylily shoots, hosta shoots, violets. Heads up. Delicious. Have you eaten a violet? If you haven't, you're missing out. Plantain makes a great poultice for injuries. It's also edible, used in a salad. Ground ivy is delicious. There it is. Garlic mustard, wild garlic, or bear garlic. You get ramps coming up in the spring. Dandelion, fiddleheads. We just showed you. Those come from ferns. They're delicious while they're still curled. You can steam them. 7 early backyard wild edibles coming from wildedible.com. There you got a dock right there, curly dock or yellow dock, and all the information you need to know to survive and thrive by going into the woods. If you don't know about wild edibles, it's time to learn. Spring is a great time to eat delicious wild plants that grow in the forest. This might keep you alive in the future. So, if you're a person that doesn't have a lot of money to start preparing, you could be the first people in the woods stockpiling on all the wild edibles while the rest of the idiots are waiting in line at Walmart. What type of advantage do you think you have if you have the nutrient of actual plants that are completely organic because you didn't harvest them next to a highway? And they have been eaten time immemorial by native peoples and have kept the human species alive for hundreds of thousands of years. Well, the time is now to start learning that food is free if you go into the woods and find it. Guys, I hope you got something out of the video. Share this with like-minded people. They're censoring us. We won't stop. And that's a boom. We love each and every one of you.